The social construct of just well, society as a whole, but uh, I don't say clique or anything like that. How about just a group of individuals? It exists for a herd, right, or a tribe. You know, and there's noise, but it exists for a reason. And it transcends either genres or different types of communities. You could have I don't say urban or hip hop culture, group of people, right? Certain people that you have the geek, the guy that always gets made fun of, or the guy that tries too hard. You saw the scary movie. It exists like that. There is always that I don't say the virgin, but the geek, the nerd that just openly speaks out, that gets pushed around and stuff like that. There are the athletes or the jocks, as they call them. Obviously, from my circle where I grew up in Lisbon, Jersey, you wouldn't use the word jock. It'd be like, what is this? What are you, 1980s? You watch too much television. Where you come from? And you would be in that community, and you wouldn't use the words that I use, or you probably just get looked upon strangely, or maybe they transcend, or maybe did it, get to a certain level in the stage where people just try too hard to be like somewhere they're not. That's the creepy part of it, but it's the odd part of it. But what I'm getting at, there's like a I don't want to say sub community, but a crowd that just hangs around with each other, and each other, even like drag racing. That's like a sub community that are into that, and there's probably geeks, nerds, and all that in that crowd. A lot of them just hide it pretty well, but it also exists. It's a construct of of a of a of a lower scale society, I believe. It always fascinated me. Like, even though you might be an athlete, you might do this and that, or or you go to a different community, you will experience on a psychological level that part of sociology. It just always I always would analyze people. Like, that's the guy that might his name might be Julio, but his name is Jeff. They fit and not because they start with the J, but they fit that same persona. Just he might act a little rowdy or crazier, or he might use different words, but they have that same personality, and you just like you kind of wow, that's like that's the white version of that guy, or that's the black version, that's the Asian of that guy. Imagine you go to China, it's like I'm here, but it's like they act differently. You know, and I'm not the guy that just records and just watches people, the a-hole that tells people what they are and make them feel small or something. That's what I really wanted to do in life. Everything else is, whatever. It's not really like that, but it is fascinating, people's psychology versus their psychology versus just social norms. Social norms or behavior and culture, because culture or subcultures are a thing, but people's psychology pretty much stays the same. You could go like, I don't know, Alaska or something like that, and you will find the same kind of people having the same kind of psychology or even behavior, just, they have a different culture. Have a culture, and it's, it almost like transcends, it transpires, You can't get away from that. Unless you have a whole different culture and people are just numb to everything. But even if there's layers to that, you could get to that. At least that's what I believe. And you do find that out there, Even the creepy stalker that harasses you, it doesn't matter that he's Jewish. He could be Latino, he could be white, he could be black, he could be a her. That's another thing. They talk differently, they dress differently, but underneath it all, they have a lot of things in common based on their psychology, So that's what that is. And, as far as like drag racing, it's like, I don't know how reckless it would be in a community like a suburban community. How reckless would that be? I immediately thought of like football players laying down on the ground in the highway, but that's just too dangerous. Imagine, peeling out cars, or it's like burning rubber, as they say, right? Would you say burning rubber in that community? But you do that, and you just like fill up with all that smoke, all that toxicity, all around. That's just not that cool. Every once in a while you do that, all right, but it's like to show it all. It's just ridiculous to me, And the quarter mile racing, whether for money or not, just, you got people in there that might steal your car, it's reckless behavior, people might get hurt. I'm not into that. I did go once, my cousin took me out. I think I was going in my way to high school or something. I was in high school, maybe freshman year, and he was like a senior in high school. He was a football player, and I heard he saw that as well. He was like picking on a guy. I felt bad. Except the guy didn't seem to care, but maybe he did. But I was like, I kind of wanted to offend that guy. I was like, scratch Adam's car, bro. Scratch his car, bro. Even by accident, scratch his car, bro. Because like I felt bad for that dude. But even in there, you would think it's like a quiet suburban community. People have money, this and that. There's poverty everywhere. But also, you could probably go to like St. Mary's or Elizabeth, and you'll see that same kind of behavior to a certain degree. And it's kind of weird. I'm the guy that watches, that I feel uncomfortable, I stay quiet, little Lucas, and then I open my mouth, I ridicule it, then you hate me even more. So I'm that guy. When I make jokes that don't work out, I feel uncomfortable. Yeah, probably there's a miss here somewhere. I always get it right, but I have fun watching those people and just analyzing them. I wouldn't be analyzing. I'd be talking, making jokes. And I don't care who's on board, this or that. But it exists. It really, and not just through America, probably through the world, because Poland was like that as well. I just didn't stay long enough in school over there and notice that. I have not too many memories from kindergarten, but that norm exists out there. There's that guy, this guy, that guy. Just watch a teenage movie or something right there, like that. But it just like, when you see it on video, you see one guy acting so way, he must be the goofy guy, or he must be the guy that gets pushed around, and he must be the enforcer, or that guy is just, he just hide this, and that girl this, and that. It's kind of cool to watch, but then you get to the point where it's like, it's kind of pathetic. It's kind of sad. Like, I'd rather just take care of my life, I watch people for a certain degree. It's like, not a car wreck, but you just like, you watch people and that's about it. It's not like going to the airport and just watching people. It's not like that at all. It's like, I don't know. It's like watching certain animals in their environment, where they protect this and that, their behavior. Except animals are cuter to watch. People are really not that cute. It's kind of, you get to the point, it's kind of like, it becomes awkward, or how either offensive they are, how self-absorbed, this and that, and how just ridiculous, and the things they do, and you just nitpick piece by piece. But it's not something I want to do for fun. It just kind of makes you feel like, I'm bored, I guess, but it does exist, and it's kind of, you could probably say, well, yeah, that's a given. But when you see people acting differently, they wear different clothes, and they still fit into that psychology, it's like, wow, like you can't really change that, can you? You can change person's maybe terms they use, the words they use, the clothes they wear, how they come off as to a certain degree, but at the same time they still come off the same. It's just that they use different words to express it. Their expression is different. That's pretty much all that is. Probably would like to go like China and see Chinese people do that as well. Just so abnormal to me, and I actually saw that as well. It's a given. It's a given.